A few weeks after the strikes that you ordered on the nuclear facilities in Iran, there is an Iranian official who says you, President Trump, have done something that he can no longer sunbathe in Mar-a-Lago. As you lie there with your stomach to the sun, a small drone might hit you in the navel. It's very simple. Do you think that's a real threat? And when is the last time you went sunbathing anyway?
Hi, Rich Cole back again. Rich is talking. Well, that's an interesting threat, isn't it? Should Trump take it seriously? And how long has it been since he did sunbathe?
It's been a long time. I don't know. Maybe I was around 7 or so. I'm not too big into it. Yeah, I guess it's a threat. I'm not sure it's a threat, actually, but perhaps it is.
So how serious is that threat? Well, apparently they are planning it. They're raising a little money for it. Here's a report on that.
An online platform calling itself Blood Pact claims to have raised over $40 million for what it describes as retribution against those who mock and threaten the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. The campaign's stated objective is ambitious and alarming. According to reports from Iran International, the site declares its intention to raise $100 million specifically for the killing of Donald Trump. A statement on the platform reads,
"We pledge to award the bounty to anyone who can bring the enemies of God and those who threaten the life of Ali Khamenei to justice."
In other things that are happening, Trump keeps winning with the Supreme Court. He's having a good year with them. The most recent one was with birthright citizenship. If someone's born here, they're automatically a citizen. What he's trying to straighten out is people who drop into the country just to have their baby and then leave, but they got a baby with a citizenship. And that wasn't the intent of it. The intent was by our founding fathers, anyone born here is automatically a citizen. They were thinking of the ones that lived here and staying in the colonies. So Trump is trying to overturn that. I don't think he will at the end of the day, because the Constitution's pretty clear on it. But what this decision by the Supreme Court really said to these judges, quit trying to make decisions affecting the affecting the whole country. And they continue to do it. Even after this Supreme Court decision, another one came out this morning by some judge up in New Hampshire somewhere. It's just ridiculous. These liberal judges think they are God all over the country, a bunch of gods. So that's going to get straightened out. I think there ought to be something the Supreme Court can do. Here's some comments from Jonathan Turley, a great law professor at Georgetown. And he's talking about this issue.
Well, I've only started to read the opinion, but what I've seen does look like a victory for the Trump administration. Justice Barrett is saying that the only way for justices to exercise this type of universal injunction in some of these cases is equitable relief. But she does not find evidence that that type of relief was granted to these judges. So they indicate that the administration is likely to prevail on this issue. All of that is going to be awfully good news for this administration. They have been really hit with these sort of Lilliputian attacks. There are all these individual district judges effectively freezing federal policy and programs across the country. So it does appear to be a victory. It may be a bit more nuanced, but so far it looks like a good day for the Trump administration.
Andy, a question for you. Again, here are my dumb questions. This is not on the merits of birthright citizenship then, it looks like, but am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I think we never get to the merits because of the injunction issue. And it seemed to me that what made this case very interesting to people at the beginning was the birthright citizenship question and the very important question of whether that's compelled by the 14th Amendment or not. As the case was litigated, it really became this other thing, which was about these nationwide injunctions, which for the reasons that Jonathan just mentioned are the thing that has plagued the Trump administration across the board.
The other thing he won on was he's able to fire government employees. That was a dumb one, because if you have a business and you need to downsize, you have to let people go. It's just the way it goes. For some reason, people thought if you worked for the government, your job was forever, even though they didn't really need you. Well, Trump won that, saying he can fire people, get rid of them. I mean, they offered buyouts and everything. They were being very fair about it. and most of them should have taken it. But there was one justice, Jackson. She's become an idiot there in the Supreme Court, only because she was black. He said he was looking for a black woman. He came right out and said that. You're supposed to say, I'm looking for the best justice. And that's what you're supposed to do, the one most qualified. Biden did this throughout his whole cabinet and everything. It was always the first of this, first that, first. And so she's the first black woman to be on the Supreme Court, and she's terrible. She thinks you don't go by the Constitution, you go by what she feels. She feels it should be this way. She feels it should be that way. So I'm pretty disgusted with her. Finally, I wanted to get to this subject before, but ran out of time. This is the decision by the University of Pennsylvania. I'll show it to you.
This morning, the University of Pennsylvania reversing course, saying it will now ban transgender athletes and strip trans swimmer Leah Thomas of her swimming titles. The school reaching a deal with the Trump administration, saying it will comply with Title IX, as interpreted by the Department of Education, and saying it will restore the records and titles of female athletes who lost to Thomas and send apology letters to them.
Leah Thomas pulling away.
Leah Thomas made history in 2022, becoming the first openly transgender athlete to win an NCAA Division I title. The win sparked fierce debate over fairness, including from some of Thomas's own teammates.
I knew there would be scrutiny against me if I competed as a woman. I was prepared for that.
The Trump administration earlier this year suspended $175 million in federal funds from Penn, claiming the University of Pennsylvania repeatedly violated civil rights laws by allowing men to compete in women's sports. Education Secretary Linda McMahon calling Penn's new agreement a major victory for women and girls nationwide.
This is kind of important to me because I've been following this. As a matter of fact, when I first started doing podcasts, here's what I said on the subject of trans people about 1 year ago. My view is, why do they have to inflict this on society? Why can't if there are transgenders, they want to become the opposite sex, let them do it, live their life, don't bother me, and don't bother others. So now enter Riley Gaines. Who is Riley Gaines? Riley Gaines is a world-class swimmer who competed on a Kentucky NCAA swim team. She did very well, winning various tournaments and so forth, until she ran up against this dude. This dude is Leah Thomas, who a couple of years before competing with Riley Gaines, that's Riley Gaines beside him, by the way. A couple of years before competing against Riley Gaines, he was a man and losing in all his swim tournaments. Couldn't do anything. So what did he do? He became a woman. And then he started competing in women's sports. And he started winning. And he undressed in the locker rooms with all his junk showing. This is the world we're living in now with people like that. As you can see, I didn't know how to do much of anything. That's why I held up that picture of them. I've learned a lot. I can now do this. And in addition, I can include a response by Riley Gaines.
Your reaction tonight, historic news from UPenn.
Man, I watched that video back, Laura, that you showed in the intro to this segment, and I cannot even believe that happened. All the while, so many sat idly by and watched and actually reprimanded us as women if we even dared to speak about this. To say that I, of course, am grateful for Secretary McMahon, for President Trump, for even Attorney General Bondi. She's been fantastic at the Department of Justice on this issue is an understatement. I feel vindicated. I feel like pigs are flying. I feel like hell has frozen over. So it is a fantastic day, of course, for sanity, for common sense, but I think more broadly for women, for humanity, for the little girl that I'm growing inside of me right now that I will welcome to the world in just a few weeks. I think of her. I think of her future. That is what Donald Trump and, of course, Secretary McMahon and myself, that is what we are fighting for. So very, very excited about today's news.
Well, that's it for this time. Covered various subjects, a lot going on, and I'll be back with another one in a few days. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe.